Indians are going abroad to become parents. What should we know about surrogacy laws in India? Strongest earthquake in 25 years rocked Taiwan. Term in focus is Ring of Fire. And an excavation site is in news in Gujarat. Why is it a time to revisit your chapter on Harappan period from your history books? Hello everyone, I am Manas Srivastava and I'm here with the 3 must-reads from the Indian Express today. आज की तारीख है 4th of April, April 4th और इससे पहले कि मैं first read पे आऊं, I just want to tell you that when you see one of the important articles by the UPSC section of the Indian Express, it is known as UPSC Key, जो कि Monday to Friday आपको how you have to read the newspaper, what are the essential areas where you have to focus, beyond the headline, what you should know about that particular topic, some points to ponder, and some previous year questions or MCQs are mentioned related to every important topic, whether from the front page or the editorial or the explained, okay, or from the other pages are there in that one article. Monday to Friday. It is called UPSC Key. So you should go and visit and subscribe and make the best use of it to understand how to read the newspaper and so many topics which are covered. Now, जैसे कि आपको पता है कि this particular document, the newspaper, is very relevant for current affairs, for all stages of many competitive examination. पर आपको फोकस करना आना चाहिए, कैसे पढ़ना है, क्या पढ़ना है, बियॉन्ड द हेडलाइन जाके क्या पढ़ना है, एंड हाउ इट कनेक्ट्स टू योर सिलेबस. और इसलिए आई एम गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन द फर्स्ट, the most 3 important news in the newspaper. You can have your own picks. Now, my first important read today comes from the front page. When you look at the front page पे एक बहुत important news है at the bottom of the page. This news is about surrogacy law, written by Ankita Upadhyay. Restricted by surrogacy laws, Indians are going abroad to become parents. Now, जब आप ये article पढ़ेंगे, the way of writing is very interesting. It tells about various examples, and then it talks to a doctor, or in this case, Dr. Priyanka Mathur, who explains about various aspects of surrogacy laws in India and why people are going abroad. Now, it is your art. आपकी art होनी चाहिए कि आप उसमें से अपने important facts और information निकालें for your examination, for your current affairs, for your prelims, mains examination. The first attractive thing here is this box on the front page, which tells you in brief what are the important points of surrogacy law in India and who can access it. It says married couples with medical condition that makes conception impossible, and second, widows or divorcees aged 35 to 45 years, but they need to use their own eggs. Okay, these are the 2 conditions. Then you have who can't access it, and then you will read that single persons, live-in couples, LGBTQ couples cannot access it. You can go in deep, you can understand and look what are the recent changes in the surrogacy law, and what are the amendments, all these things you can look. लेकिन मुझसे अगर क्वेश्चन बनाने को कहा जाएगा तो this is the ready made fodder for a question, for a very potential question on surrogacy law in India. So you must look at this box, very relevant for you. The other important area in this article which you should not miss is when you go on the second page and this article continues, there is a reason given that why, in fact 3 or 4 reasons why Indian parents are choosing US as a destination for the surrogacy, and in fact it tells you that though it's very costly in US, but still they are choosing it. What are the advantages there, and what about the other parts of the world? Now here, Dr. Priyanka Mathur, who is an expert here, explains why most of her clients choose the US as their surrogacy destination despite the high prices. And I quote, surrogacy laws in the US are well defined for both the intending parents and the surrogate. Number 1. Secondly, healthy couples can get an embryo created with their eggs and sperms. And third, the US allows gender selection. The fourth and the most important attraction is that the newborn child could be a US citizen, she says. And this is an important attractive point for a lot of parents. The last works for the most Asian parents who hope that when their children pursue higher education in the US, they would be paying the same fees as local students and not what international students pay. This is the biggest return of investment on this procedure, says Mathur. Okay, now when you go to the next paragraph, there's a mention about overseas citizens of India. Now, you should go back to your polity book and look for what is an or who is an OCI. So it says that if born in the US, the child will have an American birth certificate and passport and can be brought back as an OCI or overseas citizens of India. Okay, and there's also mentioned that it is permissible to seek medical care, including fertility treatment, on a B1 or B2 visa. You know, B1, B2 visa was recently in news also. Applicants who seek medical treatment in the US must demonstrate to the satisfaction of the consular officer and their arrangement for such treatment and establish their ability to pay all costs associated with the treatment. Okay. However, traveling in order to give birth in the US is not permissible. Please pay attention to this, meaning that an Indian surrogate would not be allowed to travel to the US for the purpose of giving birth. All right. So this is what the experts are telling you. For other countries, the last paragraph focuses on, for other countries, the newborn will get the citizenship of their parents, as Home Ministry sources say, and I quote, the parents should get a birth certificate and an NOC from the surrogate mother. However, if the child has assumed foreign nationality, then they must apply for an Indian visa to go with the children or with the child's foreign passport. So very important article to understand what are the important elements in the India's surrogacy law, and then with reference to US and other countries, this is your focus point of the article. Now let's go to the second must read. My second must read actually comes from the world's page, and then we'll go back to the explained page for a link article. So in the world page, you will find that strongest earthquake in 25 years rocked Taiwan, 9 killed, over 1,000 injured. This is according to the newspaper in the morning today. Now, what's important here that Taiwan is one of the countries where you will regularly get to know that there are earthquakes. Taiwan faces the jolts of earthquakes quite frequently, and it's a place which is prepared for such earthquakes. But here, what happened is that authorities felt that it's going to be a mild earthquake, and they were not prepared for such a big earthquake or were able to send alerts for it. Now, the focus here is actually, the important topic from geography. And first of all, you should open the atlas and look at the Taiwan and places nearby, and then come to this word called Ring of Fire, Pacific Ring of Fire, which is there in the explained page written by Alin Chauhan. And he writes that Taiwan is prone to earthquake as it lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire, where 90% of the world's earthquake take place. Now, I want you to quickly come to this Ring of Fire thing, that what is Ring of Fire? And it is explained that the Ring of Fire is essentially a string of hundreds of volcanoes and earthquake sites which run along the Pacific Ocean. It is a semicircle or horseshoe in shape and stretched nearly 40,000 to 150 kilometers. So this figure is also given, this image is also given. You can pay attention to that. It is a semicircular horseshoe in shape and stretches nearly 40,000 to 250 kilometers. The Ring of Fire traces the meeting points of numerous tectonic plates, including the Eurasian, North American, Antarctic, Indian, Australian, Philippine, and other smaller plates, which all encircle the large Pacific plate, according to the report of National Geographic. Now, there are many countries which come, like there are 15 countries which run through this area, and it includes USA, Indonesia, Mexico, Japan, Canada, Peru, Chile, Philippines. So you should just open your atlas and keep looking at these countries. It will help you in developing a picturesque memory about these places, and you get to know about the tectonic plates also. So that comes to the point that it's also a time to revise the topic of tectonic plates and earthquakes. So you can go back to your static from the current affairs. Now, The question which is very relevant here is, why is the Ring of Fire vulnerable to earthquake? And the Ring of Fire witnessed so many earthquakes due to constant sliding past, colliding into, or moving above or below each other of the tectonic plates. As the edges of these plates are quite rough, they get stuck with one another while the rest of the plates keep moving. An earthquake occurs when the plate has moved far enough and the edges unstick on one of the faults. So try to also imagine how these things are happening, how these plates collide and get stuck, and then other plates keep moving, and such kind of earthquakes keep happening there because of that. So it's also based on your imagination. When you imagine, things get very clear. Taiwan experiences earthquake due to interactions of two tectonic plates, the Philippines Sea plate and the Eurasian plate. So there are two important plates here with reference to Taiwan. Just quickly go to the map and just mark it there. Now, the next important question which should come to your mind is, why are there so many volcanoes in the Ring of Fire? So the existence of volcano in the Ring of Fire is also due to the movement of tectonic plates. Many of the volcanoes have been formed through a process known as subduction. So please underline, subduction is a very important word here. It takes place when the two plates collide with each other and the heavier plate is shoved over another, creating a deep trench. And according to the report by DW, I quote, basically when a downgoing oceanic plate is shoved into a hotter mantle plate, it heats up. Volatile elements mix and this produces the magma. The magma then rises up through the overlying plate and spurts out at the surface, which leads to the formation of volcanoes, according to the report by DW. Most of subduction zone, please pay attention to this, on the planet are located in the Ring of Fire, and that's why it hosts a large number of volcanoes. Okay, so Ring of Fire is something very important which you should look at. Now, my third must-read important pick is from the front page again, and it's near Kutch Harappan graveyard, a skeleton and the key to puzzle. Okay, it is by Suhashini Ghosh and Gopal Kateshia. Now, if you look at this, this report, it is important from various perspectives. Mostly that you have to go back to your static, to your course book of history and look at it. So the first few lines are that a human skeleton degraded and in a flexed posture found on the slope of a hillock in Gujarat village could hold the key to a mystery that's been puzzling the team of archaeologists. In 2018, archaeologists found the University of Kerala working in collaboration with another university called Shyamji Krishna Verma Kutch University at Bhuj, and it had unearthed a mass burial site with 500 graves on the outskirts of Khatia village in Gujarat's Kutch district. This question then was, whose graves are these, and was this the burial ground or of a largest, one of the largest size, or there are, other human settlements in the vicinity. Now, why I'm talking about this is that you have to look at the important Harappan sites in Gujarat. All right, look at the burial sites in Gujarat. Okay, and other important burial sites in other parts of the country. Number one. Then this particular article also tells about that, there are some artifacts which are found, pottery and other things which are found in this excavation or the nearby excavation. Just make a list of it, try to match it with the other important sites in Gujarat and nearby of the Harappan period. Then you would also see that there are localities which have shown early Harappan phase, mature Harappan phase, and late Harappan phase in this during the time of excavation here. So it's time to go back to your basics and revise the chapter on Harappan period, and therefore this article makes more sense there. All right, there will be more on this in the coming days or months, so we should wait for it. That's all. These are the 3 must-reads from Indian Express today. I'll come back tomorrow. Please write to me at manas.srivastava@indianexpress.com. Think smart, work hard, conquer your goal. Bye-bye.